Welcome to Mythos AI, your source for Cliff's Notes on complex subjects. Join Anna and Phil for yet another engaging conversation.
Ever scroll through your feed and it's like, seriously, again, the same news, same opinions, even the same memes popping up over and over.
It's like we're stuck in some kind of digital Groundhog Day, right?
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, is this just me or is there something more going on here?
Well, you're definitely not alone. It's like we're riding this, what Arwab calls a mimetic wave. That's the audio discussion we're doing our deep dive on today.
Okay, mimetic wave, RWAB. I'm intrigued, but I need a little help unpacking all of this. What exactly is a mimetic wave, and how does it connect to this feeling of being stuck in a digital echo chamber?
So Arwab uses this really interesting metaphor, thinking about the internet like a house.
Okay, I can work with that. I'm picturing blueprints, foundation, the whole nine yards. What are we working with here?
Right, so every house has its structure, right? And that structure, it influences how we live in it. The internet's the same way. It's built on a foundation of certain values.
So you're saying our digital world isn't this neutral space we might think it is. It's got its own set of values baked right in.
Exactly. Think about it. Individualism, freedom of expression, entrepreneurship. These values, they're often associated with like Silicon Valley culture, right?
Right.
And they've been woven into the fabric of the internet from the very beginning.
Which makes you wonder how that impacts users from cultures that might prioritize different values. Like, take the internet's emphasis on personal branding, for example. It's
Yeah.
all about putting your best self out there, constantly promoting yourself.
That's a great point. For someone from a more collectivist culture, where the focus is more on the community, that whole emphasis on individual achievement could feel really strange, even off-putting. It's like you're speaking a different language online.
Totally. And that's just one example. Imagine how these cultural differences might be playing out in all our online interactions, from the news we consume to the way we connect with others. It really makes you question that whole idea of the internet being this great equalizer, this global village we hear so much about.
And this is where things get even more interesting because it's not just about these underlying cultural values, right? We also got algorithms, these invisible forces shaping our online experience every step of the way.
Okay, so we're living in this internet house built on these specific values, but then we've also got algorithms rearranging the furniture all the time. How exactly are these algorithms influencing what we see and do online? Because it can feel like they're this total mystery.
It's like they're leading us down these predetermined paths, and we don't even realize it. Arwab has this great example talking about music streaming.
Okay, I love a good analogy. Hit me with it.
So say you're really into country music right now. So you make this playlist, all your favorite classic country songs.
I'm with you. I can practically hear the steel guitar now.
And you're listening, right? You're happy, maybe discovering a new artist here or there, and the algorithm's paying attention.
Makes sense. It's got to know what I like, right?
Exactly. But here's the thing. Because it wants to keep you happy, keep you listening, it starts recommending more country music.
So instead of introducing me to all this other great music out there, I'm stuck in a country music loop.
Pretty much. It's like this digital version of, if you like that, you'll love this. And it's happening everywhere, not just with music, the news we read, the opinions we encounter, even the jobs we're recommended. It's all being filtered through these algorithms. We're basically being nudged into these echo chambers without even realizing it.
Okay, that's kind of creaky when you think about it. It's like these algorithms are shaping our whole perception of the world.
And that's why understanding how they work is so important. It's not about demonizing algorithms, but realizing they have this power, and we need to learn how to navigate that, be more conscious of it.
So how do we do that? How do we become more conscious, more in control of our online experience? I'm ready to break out of this echo chamber. So we're riding this mimetic wave, being steered by algorithms, stuck in our echo chambers. How do we break free? Do we need to throw our phones in a lake and become digital hermits?
It's tempting, right?
Oh.
But Arwab actually suggests something a lot more interesting, becoming conscious digital citizens.
Okay, I like the sound of that better than tossing my phone. But what does it actually mean to be a conscious digital citizen?
Well, it starts with understanding the forces shaping our online experience, which we're doing right now. But it's also about taking action. And a big part of that is diversifying our information diet.
Information diet. Is that like only reading the news headlines while eating kale chips?
Not exactly. It's more about what kind of information we're consuming. If all we're reading are those clickbaity headlines or getting our news from just one source, it's like, well, imagine only eating pizza every day.
Hey, now that's just mean. Pizza is delicious.
It is, but you'd miss out on other flavors,
Right.
different nutrients. Information's kind of the same way. If we're only getting it from the same sources, our perspective gets limited. We're not getting the full picture.
So, how do we diversify our information diet? Should we be subscribing to, like, every news outlet under the sun?
It doesn't have to be overwhelming. One thing RWAB suggests is comparing how different countries' news sources cover the same event.
Oh, that's interesting. You definitely get different perspectives that way.
Right. You start to see what details each source emphasizes, what they downplay, or even completely leave out.
It's like looking at the same event through completely different lenses. You get a much richer understanding.
Exactly. And it's not just about diversifying our sources, it's also about how we engage with the information we're consuming. We can't just passively absorb everything. We've got to be more critical, more discerning.
So we're not just changing our information diet, we're learning to savor it, to really taste it.
Exactly. Our web talks about becoming internet detectives.
Yeah.
Question everything. Who's the source? What's their angle? Are there any potential biases?
And not being afraid to seek out different perspectives, even if we don't necessarily agree with them.
Exactly. Because that's how we grow.
Right.
By challenging our own assumptions.
So we're becoming more conscious consumers of information, but we're also creators, right? Every time we post, share, comment, we're adding to this digital world.
Absolutely. And that's where the idea of curating our own digital museums comes in.
Okay, I like where this is going. Tell me more about this digital museum.
So each post, each comment, it's like adding a new artifact to our own personal exhibit. What are we putting out there? What story are we telling?
That's a powerful way to think about it. It's not just about building our own personal brand, but about the kind of digital world we're contributing to.
Exactly. It's about being intentional, being responsible. What we share, what we amplify, it matters. It shapes the mimetic wave.
This has been such an amazing conversation. It feels empowering to realize we're not just swept along by this wave, we actually have the power to shape it, to become more conscious digital citizens.
Couldn't agree more. It's an ongoing process, but it all starts with awareness. Once we understand the forces at play, we can start making more informed choices about how we navigate this digital world.
Absolutely. So as you explore the vast landscape of the internet, remember to diversify your information diet, engage critically, and curate your digital presence with intention. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening to Mythos AI. Stay tuned for more concise insights. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe for future episodes.